Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Renee's college football playoffs. Let's go, Ace.
All right, boys and girls, we got college football playoff semifinals. Cannot wait for the two slated games on the docket, Big Ree. Before we get into the episode, make sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and comment below. Big Ree.
And purchase your merch right there below.
Get the merch, get the DGF merch, support the channel. All right, Big Ree, college football semifinals. We've been waiting all year since end of August to get here, and now we're here. 4 teams remaining, Big Ree.
Yeah.
We got Notre Dame that's left. You know, Notre Dame, number 7 Notre Dame. They're playing Penn State. You know, Notre Dame, they came off a 23-10 win versus Georgia. What are your thoughts just on that game?
Yeah, I expected that. I mean, I just don't believe in Georgia. I think I probably said it on the last one. And no, I think Notre Dame's for real.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with your sentiments. Georgia looked they looked bad all year, honestly. They didn't look like the same Georgia, and they didn't have their starting QB, Beck, so that definitely hurt them. And then Notre Dame everybody knows how I feel about Notre Dame, but this is the best that I've ever seen them look in the last 10 to 15 years. So they looked good. Obviously, they had a kickoff return that helped them, one big turnover that Georgia had really helped, but you know, they looked good. And then Penn State, they came off probably with the game of the week.
Yeah.
Would you say? No, not Penn State, but the big good win against Boise State, 31-14 on New Year's Eve. You know, they basically shut down Ashton Genty, and they played well. What was your thoughts on that game?
I mean, I expected them to win, but not that big. Boise State was a big doozy.
Yeah, I think the committee is going to have to work on that because they won, you know, by 17 points, but then, you know, Boise State had the bye in the first week, which that shouldn't have happened, right? So they got to figure out, just because you win your conference doesn't mean you get a bye. Like just the top 4 teams need to get a bye.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but you know, they played well. I don't think this was ever really a game. You know, Boise State was just excited to score, honestly. That's kind of how it felt. Like, you were watching the game, you're like, hey, Boise State's not going to win this game, but hopefully they just don't get completely embarrassed and they put some points up. Then we got Ohio State, who completely dominated Oregon, 41-21. I think this game was, 34-0 at half?
Yeah.
34-8. No, 34-0. They
that.
scored at the end of the half. They scored, I think, 8 points. So it was 34-6, but it was 34-0. And this was your actually lock of the week last week. You said this is the easiest money you're going to win all year.
Yeah, I went heavy for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you said in the video, you said this is the easiest pick of the week. And they just completely dominated Oregon. I mean, it was an unreal. What were your thoughts there? Just what happened?
I mean, I expected a big win, but not this big, and Oregon just got embarrassed.
So what happened? Why did they get so embarrassed?
They just, when you started out bad, they started out, before I even turned the game on, it was 7-0. Because I think the other game went to overtime.
Yeah.
The Arizona State game.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is already 7-0. And then Oregon went through and out. They scored again.
Yeah, it got ugly quickly. Obviously, Smith, that receiver Smith, Jeremiah Smith, just looked unreal. Howard played well. Gabriel, I don't know if he was just, you know, over here in California, the green is legal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this game was played at the Rose Bowl, and I don't know, Dylan Gabriel, did you see the video of him?
No.
The clip of him where they interviewed him?
And
and he looked completely like the highest I've ever seen somebody in my life. It was unreal. So I don't know what happened. Too much partying. I don't know what happened, but they just got trounced. And then Texas, you know, this was the game of the quarterfinals against Arizona State, 39-31 in double overtime.
Yeah.
You know, at one point, Texas was up 24-8 in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
Then Arizona State, you know, had some trick plays, back-to-back touchdowns, and 2-point conversions to tie it. Cam Scadaboo, that guy played great. And then in overtime, Arizona State scored first with the 2, and then, it looked like, hey, dude, these guys, they got Texas to a fourth and 13.
Yeah, that was bad.
And it looked like the game could be over. That was it. And then they got a touchdown. And then they scored right away in the second overtime on the first play.
That was
And so what are your thoughts on this game? And what did you see?
When you get someone 4th and 13, you can't let them score.
You got to close it out.
You got to close it out. That's on your defense.
Yeah. And coaching. You guys got to take a timeout and make sure that you guys have a play to not let them get 13 yards.
Yeah.
They lost this game. They had it.
For sure.
They had a huge comeback. All the momentum. What a win this would have been. The coach I think is 34 years old.
Something like that.
And what it would have been a great win to knock out Texas. And Texas, they looked really good at the beginning. Then they looked like complete crap. They started off 14-3. They looked complete crap, and they played really well to end the game in overtime. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get in. Anything else you want to say about the quarterfinals?
That's pretty much it.
All right, yeah. It should be an exciting game. Let's get right into it for the 2 college football playoff games. And just before we get into the games, Big Ree, I think your pick for in the future episode was Ohio State.
Yeah, and yours was Texas.
Yeah,
so one of us is going to the finals.
So Big Ree picked Ohio State to win it all. I picked Texas to win it all. And if you recall, I had Penn State 22-1. I said I like Penn State's odds in our future, that 22-1. And so here we are. I definitely didn't think Notre Dame was going to be here, I'll be honest. All right, game 1. This is number 7 Notre Dame versus number 6 Penn State. This game is being played on Thursday, January 8th, I believe, right? January 8th. This game is being played January 8th, Thursday. And, January 9th. January 9th. Yeah, January 9th, Thursday, January 9th, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Notre Dame is a 2.5-point favorite. Notre Dame 13-1. Coming off a 23-10 win versus Georgia. They beat Indiana 27-17 in round 1. Couple of notes on Notre Dame. They've only given up over 17 points twice on the season. They gave up 24 to Louisville and 35 to USC. At 5 out of their 14 games, they scored 49-plus points. And then we got Penn State, ranked number 6, 13-2, coming off a 31-14 win versus Boise State. They beat SMU 38-10 in round 1. They did lose to Ohio State 2013 in the regular season, and they lost to Oregon 45-37. Notre Dame's lone loss was to Northern Illinois 16-14. What are your thoughts here, Big Ree?
Yeah, I think Notre Dame has demonstrated pretty well defensively, only giving up 13.8 points on the season. And their offense looks pretty solid as well. And Penn State, on the other hand, QB Drew Aller has led the offense. He looks good. And the running back, what's his name? Nicholas Singleton. Yeah, he's been doing good. And I think this is going to be which offense can play better because both defense are great.
Yep.
In my opinion. The over-under is 46.5. I think under is a great play in my opinion. Getting back to the game, I think Notre Dame wins here comfortably by a touchdown. Don't go on the Penn State wagon. Ride with Notre Dame. I think they win pretty easily.
So you're taking Notre Dame minus 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2.5. This is obviously this is a close spread, 2.5. I think it's going to be a really good game. Notre Dame has looked more balanced offensively. I think they have a better offense that they've shown, maybe weaker opponents, but better offense. Defense, really good. As I said, they've only given up over 17 twice. So their defenses look good, offenses look good. They got a dual threat, QB and Leonard, and so they look good. I mean, I don't know, they look good. And then you got Penn State, 13-2. Drew Aller looks good. They got a running back tandem with Singleton. They look good. I mean, overall, they look good. They both have good defenses, as you said. Both teams have good defenses. I would say I'd probably give the edge on defense to Penn State, and I'd probably give the edge on offense to Notre Dame. And maybe Notre Dame's defense looks good, but I think they have a weaker schedule overall. And so I just think this is going to be a really good game. I think this is going to go down to the wire. Like literally, I think this game is going to be a 27-24, 27-21 game either way, right? Like I think that's what it's going to go down to. I think the over you said is set at 46.5, and I think it's trending down. So personally, I just think this is going to be such a close game, and I'm going to give the edge to Penn State here. I think they win by a field goal or 6 points. I think they win 27-20, 27-24, 27-21. So I like Penn State plus 2.5. If you want to buy the point, you're going to lose juice. You can buy them at plus 3. But I think they win here in a close one. But I think a good play here is taking a 2-team teaser on this game, or an alternative line. You take Penn State, say plus 8.5 in case it goes to overtime, and then you take the over 37. So I don't think it goes under 37. Take the over 37 or 38, and I think you probably hit that. That's a nice 2-team teaser. But my pick is I'm gonna go disagree, Biggery. I like Penn State here minus plus 2.5. All right, and you could still win. Even Notre Dame can win by 2, and you still cover here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a good game. This is going to be a really good game. All right, second game that's being played on Friday, Big Reed. This is on January 10th. We got number 8 Ohio State versus number 5 Texas. This is being played at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Currently, Ohio State is a 6-point favorite. It's down to 6. I think it started off at 6.5.
It originally opened at 4.5, and within 10 minutes it jumped to 6.5.
So 4.5 to 6.5, and I think now it's at minus 6. Ohio State. Ohio State 12-2, coming off a 41-21 win versus Oregon. As we stated, they dominated Oregon. It was 34-0 at one point. They beat Tennessee 42-17 in the first round. Oregon is the only team that had scored over 17 points against Ohio State. They did it twice. Then we got Texas 13-2 and ranked number 5, coming off a 39-31 win in double overtime versus Arizona State. And they beat Clemson 38-24 in week 1. One interesting note here is Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers has thrown an interception in 9 of 13 games. So 9 out of 13 games he's thrown an interception here. Ohio State minus 6. Big Ree, what do you think here?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I will say before I give my analysis, Ohio State's going to win this game. I definitely think so. I don't know if they're going to cover. I think everyone's going to be on Ohio State after they literally blew out Oregon.
Yep.
I mean, Quinn Ewers has to step up with this balanced offense, and I think that's going to be the factor. Quinn Ewers versus the Ohio State rush defense. Jeremiah Smith is going to have his numbers, whether he gets double teamed or not, with Will Howard. And I mean, Ohio State's defense has only been giving up 22 points, and I think I'm going to swallow the points again here. I'm going to take Ohio State 5.5.
So you're taking Ohio State 5.5.
Yeah.
Or 6,
6.
whatever.
I would recommend buying it at half point.
Got it. So you're gonna swallow the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be a really good game. Obviously, Ohio State dominated Oregon, the number 1 team, undefeated, just completely trounced them. So everybody's gonna remember that, right? Like, hey, you just completely just dominate Oregon. I mean, nobody expected what happened there. Nobody. Anybody that says I mean, you could say you thought Oregon was going to win and win easily, but nobody thought it was going to be 34-0 at half. Ohio State, yeah. Nobody thought that was going to happen at halftime. But they played really good. Texas, obviously, they're a really good team, but they looked good at some points, and they looked like complete crap at other points against Arizona State. Right? This is Ohio State, and I think it also goes down to Quinn Ewers, right? Like he has to play much better, and he can't turn over the ball if they want to have a chance to win. He cannot turn over the ball, and he's got to play, really good. Really good, and the Texas run game has got to show up. Non-existent last game. Non-existent. I think Texas. Here's the key to the keys to this game. Texas's front line is gonna put pressure on the run game of Ohio State. Limit them. They're gonna put pressure on Will Howard, and that's gonna happen. So the question is Texas's secondary gonna be able to control Smith, and is the Texas offense gonna be able to not turn over the ball? That's the thought here. And Texas has the talent to win this game. I want to make it clear. I think they definitely have the talent to win this game, but everything has to line up for them. I mean, I think they have the potential to win this game. I really do, but I actually think that Ohio State wins here. But I think Texas covers. That's going to be my pick here. I think Ohio State's going to win, but I just think Texas is due. I think Texas is due for a much better game than they played last week. They basically feel like they're free roll. They're down in overtime, 4th and 13, about to lose, and they were done. And now they have almost a second chance. And this game is in Arlington, Texas, so a few hours away, right? Obviously, both teams will be present. Ohio State, I think, is going to play really well. I think this is going to be a good game. And like I said, I think Texas can win, but I think Ohio State wins and Texas covers. And so my official pick here is Texas +6 here. I think if you want to tease Texas, I think that's a really good play. I think they can win. So if you can get them at, say, +12, right? +12.5, I think that's juicy. I mean, I don't see Ohio State blowing out Texas unless Ewers turns over the ball, then they can win by 20 here.
Yeah.
So should be a really good game. I mean, I'm really excited for both of these games, and I think there's going to be a lot of juice here. I think there's a lot of juice on both of these games.
For sure, definitely.
I think and we got. This one game's on Thursday, the other game's on Friday.
Then you got Saturday, Sunday college football, and Monday NFL playoff.
NFL wild card 3 weeks, so 5 straight games of quality football. So cannot wait, Big Ree. Anything else you want to throw in?
No, that's it.
So you guys will see us next week. We will drop a college football championship edition video. And good luck this weekend, boys and girls. We'll see you guys next week for championship.